Welcome back to another episode of Let's Have a Sip. I'm your host, Sean Drinks. Dagger is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Dagger is in the house. What up?
How's it going, man? How are you?
Good, buddy. So his name's not really Dagger, everybody. It's actually Maverick. Still a bomb-ass name.
One's weirder.
I didn't even realize that you were your name for sun butter. Actually, I got a jar of sun butter right here.
Ooh,
Boom.
what a coincidence.
Yeah. So I was watching one of the commercials on your Instagram and I was like, I forget exactly how you worded it, but you were like, yeah, my name's Dagger. And I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah. Brief stint with sun butter. It was fun. That was one of the funnest things I've done as far as the whole commercial gig goes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I actually haven't even tried sun butter. I actually just bought this today just for the fuck of it. So I thought it was kind of funny, but
I like it. It's an acquired taste for sure.
Is it?
Probably, yeah. I wouldn't, it definitely does. In my opinion, doesn't taste as good as just good old fashioned peanut butter, but it's supposedly a little healthier for you. So.
I wasted my money.
More vitamin E. It's good for your pores.
Okay. Yeah. You know more about nutrition than I do. So, cause you have a very massive online business with personal training. So, which is super dope. My fiance, Courtney, actually used to work with you for quite a while. So,
yes.
Yeah, I'm glad you were able to help her out. And we kind of got back on our, she's on it a little bit more than I am, but back on eating healthy and working out and stuff like that. Cause I was religious for it for a while. I was working at the Grid House, which is actually where we met. I meet so many cool people at the Grid House because I remember when you walked in, and I'm a big boy. You're a big boy too. I'm like 6'8". What are you, like 6'6" or something? So
on a good in heels. I'm 6'5". Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So I remember you walking in. You're just like, oh, you were jacked, and I was like, yes, I love this. So it gave us tall people hope, you know, because you see Martin Ford, you got Aaron Reed, you know, these guys, and they're jacked as hell. And I see you walk in.
Dwarf me, by the way. They're huge. Those guys are legit giants.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, I haven't seen them in person. I think I saw something years ago of you like taking a picture with Martin Ford, and I do remember him kind of like, I guess, dwarfing you. And I was like, dude.
It makes me look like a little baby. It's hilarious. I like taking pictures with him because people think that I'm huge, and then they see him, and it's in a picture. And then if you put like the mountain, like the strong man, the Game of Thrones guy next to Martin, it's like he's even bigger than Martin is. So it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah, dude, the mountain's like 7 foot, 7'1", something, and
he's massive.
Dude. Yeah, and he just I think like a month or so ago, he actually was he was training prior to a month ago for a fight with another strongman, Eddie Hall, Brian. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. That guy's huge.
I think it was mostly for publicity, but it was actually a pretty good fight from what I hear.
Yeah, he's been kind of hanging out in Dallas, which is actually where I'm at right now. Because I think he's good friends with Jason Poston, and he was like doing some tour for some like yogurt company or something. Because I guess he like has his own yogurt company or something. I don't know, but I thought that was kind of cool. So
yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, man, I know. So I know I was telling you about, or excuse me, I was saying that you have your online business, and you strictly train females. You are known as the Milf Whisperer. So, you want to kind of expound on exactly what you do with your online coaching?
Yeah. The Milf Whisperer thing, I actually trademarked that because as soon as I heard that, I was like, I'm taking that. That's brilliant. And it's funny. I mean, I started out probably 5 or 6 years ago doing it part-time and really started to fall in love with it. And I had some friends at the time who were super successful with it. And that kind of motivated me to go head first into it. And I was working a job I hated, selling cars for Ford, and just miserable. Nothing against car sales, but I hated what I was doing, and I wanted to take my passion full time. So eventually I did just that, man. I jumped all in. I hired a business coach who helped me learn a whole lot about social media, converting leads and getting more clients, and that helped me grow and expand. And I never looked back, man. It took off, and I'm so grateful. I actually started out coaching both men and women. But as an entrepreneur, it behooves you to niche down and find who has the least friction when you're working with them, the people who you love working with the most, so you enjoy what you do. And I just found that with women, they were more coachable, more receptive to my advice, Men, not so much. I got a few really good male clients, great transformations, but for every one good one I got 5 that were just really resistant, made excuses. And meanwhile, I had a mom of 4 over here just crushing it, no excuses. So I was like, I just gravitated naturally more towards coaching women. And now I actually don't do any of the one-on-one coaching. I have an entire coaching team. We just hired our 17th coach, and they do all the coaching. They're all credentialed, certified. We get them certified through ISSA if they're not already certified. And many of them, we have 2 RNs, an RD, a biomedical scientist. Most of them are mothers. A couple of them just had a baby. So it's like we're all encompassing. We have women from all across the world. I've got a coach in the UK. I've got a coach in Canada who's an Olympic athlete. So it's like a very diverse team of just powerful women who are turning around and empowering other women. And 10 of those 16 or 17 women are former clients. So we hired completely from within. So they have that experience of being in the program as a client, coached by me, and then turn around and give that knowledge, to the next woman. So it's a pretty cool dynamic we've created. We're pretty big presence online now. We've got over 300,000 on TikTok and almost 100,000 on Instagram. And that's like crazy for me to even say, because just not even 2 years ago, I had nothing as far as the following goes, no engagement, maybe a comment here or there, and so it just goes to show you like consistency, showing up and learning how to speak to the needs of the people you serve, just putting in reps with, I'm as consistent as they come. And that's all I did. I'm just someone who just doesn't give up. I just show up every day, like a cockroach. I don't die. So that's what I attribute the traction to, is just continuing to show up and give value without asking anything in return.
Okay. So, cause I don't really understand how all this works. You have like, how many coaches did you say you have under you?
I believe we have 16 now. I've lost track. We've hired like 4 in the last month. I'm going to say 16.
Okay. So are you actually coaching anybody directly right now? Or is it more so like, hey, how does that work?
I am not. Now I'm on I'm involved. I'm in a lot of the group calls. I'm in the Facebook community that we have, 250 plus women now. And, I do live streams in there. I'm available in that capacity, but someone has to do the marketing and the growing of the program. Someone has to be on the front end acquiring new clients. And so if I'm doing coaching, I can't do that, because then I'm stretched too thin, also being a dad and everything else. So they do all the one-on-one coaching. So each coach has about 20-ish to 25 max clients, and we keep it at that number to keep the quality high, the feedback fast, and overall service at a very high level.
Gotcha. Okay. Dope, man. I love it, man. Yeah. Cause I like I was saying before, I remember you walking into the grid house. You've come a long way since then. And I was talking to my buddy Keith Dodd. I don't know if that name rings a bell or not, but he played
Did he play basketball for Cleveland?
For Bradley High School.
Bradley.
Really tall. Yeah.
When he was there, it was him and Terrence Oglesby and another guy. This is the big 3. Like, they were really, really good. Yeah, I was a freshman in high school when he was at Bradley.
Okay, yeah, because I was on the phone with him earlier, and he was like, "Hey, who do you got on the show this weekend?" And I was telling him your name, and he was like, "That name sounds so familiar." So, and I was like, "Yeah, I think because you grew up in Athens, Tennessee, correct?
13,000 people.
What school did you go to? What high school?
County.
McMahon. Okay, that's right. Okay, so yeah, because you came up in conversation, and he's like, "Let me look him up real quick," because I don't think he's on social media or whatever, and he's like, "The Milf Whisperer." He's like, "What?" So
that's what everybody says when they first hear that. Like, what the fuck is this guy? Who does he think he is?
Yeah, it's funny. I love it, man. So
yeah, I mean, that's all it is. It's hilarious. It's polarizing. I think that probably 9 out of 10 women who end up following and then maybe end up being clients, they come to the page pissed off at first, because they're like, who does this guy think he is? Well, you can't call yourself the MILF with, and then they start reading posts and they're like, okay, so he's actually well spoken. He knows what he's talking about, and he touches on a lot of things that I go through. Okay, let me just follow a little bit longer. Like, okay, this guy's all right. He makes fun of himself. He doesn't take himself seriously. He's not a meathead. He looks like a meathead, looks like a douchebag, but he seems pretty good guy. Like, I'll call, so I'm very authentic with what I put out there. Like, you see my story highlights. I'm very vulnerable about a whole lot of stuff. And I do that because I want to be real. I want what is said behind closed doors to match what I'm portraying. And I think that is refreshing in the current landscape, because Instagram has been the polished Kodak moment. And I don't want to be that. I mean, I guess, like you said, I'm from a small town. I'm no different than anyone else. I just, I'm doing something I'm really passionate about. And I think that comes through in the content. I think that's what actually resonates with the women, because you can know everything in the world about nutrition, but if you can't relate with people on a one-to-one level and actually speak to their struggles and be the medicine to their pains, then it's going to be hard to grow a business.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. And so that, talking about all of that makes me think of I've touched on this like on the last like 5 episodes, but I think it's very good to talk about specifically for men because I feel like it's very taboo again for men to talk about their feelings. So, um, I struggle with anxiety, and maybe that coffee that I drank this morning probably didn't help with that. So, but I think it's good to, like you were saying, be a little bit more authentic versus like the highlight reel that Instagram is, or TikTok, or just social media in general. So, um, I have tried to. Oh, I'm not going to say try. I have been opening up more here within the last couple of years, specifically to people that I feel like I can confide in, to talk about how I'm feeling about certain things. Because in the past, I would hold those in because that's kind of like a thing that I guess to a degree men are told to do. Like, throw some dirt on it, you'll be fine. Don't worry, shut the fuck up. So, um, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you're military, correct? So
Mhm.
you're okay. So, I mean, I guess that was kind of a thing, or I've always heard that like you have to be very like stoic in the military or something. So, um, yeah, I mean, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's definitely a
Yeah,
dynamic of weakness, like no weakness, and showing feelings means weakness. Crying means weakness. Expressing how you feel about something, weakness. It's, and that's the kind of like the unspoken culture of the military special operations. Especially, I was in Ranger Battalion, and I would say, yeah, it was you're just it's a very high standard of a unit. Like everybody is holds himself to a very high standard, and that's great. We perform very well, and we're good at what we do. But at the same time, it's not a whole lot of talking about your feelings going on there. There's no room for that. So yeah, transitioning out of the military, that was something I didn't have. And you look at our parents' generation and their parents' generations, like therapy was unheard of, man. And it was like you just get through your problems. The Great Depression generation is like you just put food on the table. There's no room for therapy or crying. Like you either put food on the table, or that's it. Like there's no time to, so it's like I believe our generation specifically is a generation of cycle breakers. I think it stops with us, and we can make the change for our kids. There's therapy, and the self work has given me, gosh, it's given me so much confidence to have conversations with my son eventually that weren't had with me, because he just, our parents all do their best, but like my dad just didn't know how to have some certain conversations because his dad didn't have them with him. So very grateful that I have the tools and the awareness to actually, delve into those uncomfortable conversations with my son. And you're right. Like, man, it's like, I don't know about you. I can only speak for myself, but I was brought up, not necessarily by my parents, but just society in general. It's like, no, man up. You got to man up. It's like, this is just how it is. You don't have time to feel any feelings about this. Like you said, rub some dirt in it. That's a great way to stay weak. That's how I've come to find. You can run away from your problems for so long till they creep up on you. Because what ends up happening is if you don't feel what you're supposed to feel, you'll start numbing it or masking it with something else. You'll say, "Oh, this is uncomfortable. I better run from it. I better replace it with sex, drugs, alcohol, whatever it ends up being." Escapism is a rampant problem in our generation as well. Escapism through social media, dopamine, or whatever it is. So all these things, absolutely.
yeah, yeah, for sure. So I know that. So on your social media, I think I don't know if I follow you on TikTok, but on Instagram, in your bio, it says something about or along the lines of like a revenge body.
Mhm.
So I was talking to Courtney about this earlier. I was like, so trying to think of a good way to explain this because sometimes I'm not good with words, Maverick. Okay, leave me alone. So do you think to a degree, like whenever you're trying to market yourself and you're saying, "Hey, come get your revenge body," that um you feel like maybe that person is trying to impress someone that's broken their heart that they probably shouldn't keep in their life? Like, what is the whole point of you kind of marketing that as like a revenge body?
Good marketing is polarizing. It pisses people off.
Yeah,
It, the biggest skill you can have on social media right now is getting and maintaining attention. And the bottom line is, if someone's scrolling and they're scrolling through, let's just say 5 separate coaches, and all of them say, "You're going to lose weight, you're going to burn fat, you're going to look better. All these vague terms that are boring. And then I come along and I say, you're going to get your fucking revenge body. They're going to stop on my page. All right. So that's like the underlying concept behind it is it's just good marketing. And revenge is a powerful, emotionally resonant term. Right now, the funny thing is I get, it doesn't just like, we're not like isolating to just divorcees, because we get messages from every woman. And a lot of them say things like, look, I'm not looking for a revenge body. I just want to lose some weight. I'm like, it's the same body, chick. Like it's the same thing. Revenge body is just a term. Maybe for you, it means getting revenge on the part of you that wouldn't stand up for yourself, or the part of you that wouldn't set boundaries, or the part of you that would binge eat or binge and purge, or have this, destructive relationship with the scale, or not set up a boundary with your ex who keeps texting you and bring you back into the toxicity, right? It's like that can mean so many different things.
Yeah.
Very few women in our program are actually here to get a body and rub it in the face of their ex, because, progress rooted in revenge is an actual progress. You're not going to feel good when you accomplish that if it's based in revenge, right? But it's marketing, right? It's polarizing. If you have a divorcee who's coming out of a really, really abusive relationship or marriage, which we get a lot of women in that situation, and they say revenge body, it's like, I'm with this. This makes me, I want to see what this is about. And then when they see what we're actually doing, they're like, okay, this is sustainable. This is healthy. This is all about loving yourself. This is all about empowering yourself. This is all about, self-sufficiency. This is all about getting control of your body, breaking away from dieting culture, getting results, lasting results, all those things that are actually super, super healthy, So it's like marketing 101, tell them what they want, give them what they need so they can have what they want.
So did you, I think I remember seeing something about you were using someone to help you kind of grow within how you're marketing your business. Who was that you were,
Oh, I initially hired a business coach like 3 years ago. I don't have one now, but to get started and kind of learn how to put myself out there when in terms of asking for people's business. And he was super, super crucial for that. I had no idea what I was doing.
yeah. Yeah, because that's kind of how how I feel right now with like the podcast is kind of like I don't really know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just kind of having fun with it right now, and I'm just kind of reaching out to people. Hey, you want to come on? Cool, yeah, sure. Let's shoot the shit, whatever. So I think that's something that I definitely need to kind of branch off and kind of get, like you said, a business coach to help with the marketing aspect of it, because I feel like the algorithms for TikTok and Instagram is like very, to me, it's like Spanish. I don't know what's happening. So
It's simpler than people think. I used to blame the algorithm for everything, and that was what was keeping me stuck. I was
okay,
looking at what everyone else was doing and comparing myself. And when I stopped, I did an audit of my following, like who I was following, and I stopped following any coach or anybody in my industry at all. I cut out like 4,000 people.
okay,
And the second that I did that and just focused on doing my thing and being authentic and just being original, that's when emotional support Vikings started. That's when Milf Whisperer started. That's when I started doing all these funny things that no one else was doing. Is because I was literally put blinders on and just focused on my movement. Podcast is a slow burner though, man. It takes time to get off. Like I mean, you got to be in it for a while.
yeah, no doubt. Especially since since COVID started, I mean, I feel like podcasts have grown tremendously because people are at home. Like, what am I doing? So, yeah, and that's Courtney has asked me like, what are your goals for it? And a lot of other people have asked me as well. And I'm like, honestly, I'm just having fun right now because that's what it is. Like, because the whole reason I started this podcast was, so whenever I've initially moved to Texas, my schedule with work, which I work at UPS, and my schedule was Tuesday through Saturday. So Sunday was kind of like our time to kind of hang out, go do whatever. Cool. Monday, she's working. She's Monday through Friday, and I was kind of sitting at the house. I love whiskey, obviously, and I would go whiskey hunting, bourbon hunting, whatever. Come back home, and I'd watch TV, just doing mindless tasks, and I'm like, I have got to do something that is a little bit more stimulating for me because I'm going to turn into a potato, and I don't want that. So, I was like, you know what? Let me start a podcast. I like whiskey, but that can kind of like be like a thing that I just do while I'm on the podcast. I don't pretend like I'm some like sommelier or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing about podcasts. Number one, anybody can do it. I mean, obviously longevity, consistency, and, people I think there's like a percentage, it's like 99% of podcasts quit after 3 episodes or something like that. Like very few stick it out. Yeah,
Oh
it's
wow.
in my mind. Yeah. And then it's evergreen. It's always there, with an Instagram grid, that short form content, it just scrolls down to the like through as you post more, your good shit gets lost like down,
Yeah.
you have to scroll to see. Whereas a podcast, like it's evergreen. It's always there. It's kind of like YouTube, but audio version, which is what I really like about it. I can listen. And the thing is, you can't scroll Instagram while you're driving. You can, podcast, you can. You can listen to podcasts while you're working out. It's just different. I love it. I think it's a great thing to do. And I think you should just keep having fun with it. I think as long as you keep it having fun, you won't feel pressured to do it. You'll look forward to doing it, and that will be what keeps you going long term.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, man. Because it makes me think of like professional sports, like with like people, kids playing sports in high school, going to the collegiate level, and then once they are professional, it turns into a business. Okay, the passion's not there anymore. So I totally get that. Definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
So before we actually started recording, you were saying that you
I went to Halloween Horror Nights, I think it was like 2 years ago, and they have different themed haunted houses, and one of them is Rob Zombie themed, and it was super, super cool. It
dude.
was like House of a Thousand Corpses, that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it had his music blaring. Like I'm a big Rob Zombie fan. Like it was music I used to
Yeah.
listen to when I work out all the time. So like when I heard that, I was like playing Dragula or whatever, that Super Beast album. It was like blaring. I was like, we got to go there. It was like all the other stuff could wait because we went to like 5 different ones. But that one was by far my favorite. So like you walk through, there's tons of people there, obviously. So you're like in one big line that's moving through it. And then like as you go, real people like jump out in intervals. And there's also like some robotics jumping out at you. And it's pretty funny. I like hang back and I'll just watch people going ahead of us and get terrified. And I knew it was coming. But yeah, super, super good time. Yeah. And Disneyland in general, super good time. We ended up going to Epcot over the weekend. Me and my son's mom, we co-parent, and that was awesome. We had a freaking amazing time with him. He was just out of his mind. There's so much stimulus everywhere. He's 2 years, 3 months old. So he was like, this is awesome. I don't know what to do. Just brain was going crazy. It was fantastic just to watch him see things for the first time. And we had a great time.
Heck yeah, man. Because I was pretty spoiled whenever I was growing up. So my parents brought me to Disney World and Universal and those parks like 3 times whenever I was growing up. So I've been to Epcot, been to Disney World, went to Animal Kingdom, all that stuff. But hands down, my favorite was Islands of Adventure. With like Spider-Man, the Dueling Dragons, which I don't know if that's there anymore. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't, but we wanted to go to that. But when we had planned to go there, but you have to reserve it. And like, even if you buy a ticket, you have to reserve it in advance now because all the restrictions and stuff with the virus, whatever. And we didn't know that. So like all that was left was Epcot. So that's why we ended up going there. But next time we're going to do the other stuff.
Dude, that was the coolest, one of the coolest roller coasters that I've ever been on. Also, I just remembered, Rock and Roller Coaster, the Aerosmith roller coaster. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I've never seen it.
I'm pretty sure it's in Universal. I'm pretty sure I might have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure it's in Universal.
That one. We didn't do all the rides. I did a few of them. I didn't see that one though.
Oh, dude, it was so cool. So being as tall as you are, we're both tall. So do you feel like whenever you get on roller coasters, like you feel like you have to hunch down because you're going to hit your head and like your head's going to fly off? Or is that just me?
Not just roller coasters, everything in life. But yeah, definitely roller coasters. I mean, I was on the rides with like the rides made for the kids 2 days ago with my son, and like it's technically supposed to be 3 to a seat so the mom and dad can sit with the child. And dude, we were packed like sardines. So he was sitting on one of our laps the whole time, the whole ride. It's just like a roller coaster, take you through like shows, like a slideshow, like a show like on the side and stuff. So yeah, I was crammed in there, dude. Like, but that's everywhere we go, man. Like airplanes, cars. Like I have to drive a truck simply for the leg room. Like, yeah, nothing's built for us, man. We're freaks.
I know, life's tough. Oh well, we'll get over it. So
you're wearing a long sleeve T-shirt right now, and nobody would even know because it comes down to your elbows because your arms are so long because you're 6'8".
Yeah, well, dude, this fucking shirt, like, I mean, it's probably because I put it in the dryer a million times after I washed it, but I put it on because I haven't worn it in a while, and I was like, dude, this thing is like super short on me. But yeah, no, this is a cool shirt. I have like the shorts from this company, which is not in business anymore, Wholesale Fitness Apparel. I found out about them through you back in the day, and it's super cheap. This shirt was like $7.
That was their thing, wholesale prices. Yeah, like you get
And,
a pair of shorts for $5, $10. Like this is awesome.
yeah, exactly. So, coming back to what you said a minute ago, you said that you were co-parenting. So,
Mhm.
were you married at one point?
No, we never married. We were together for about 2 years, and then separated last April. April.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've been separated a little over a year now.
Okay. So how does that dynamic work? Like co-parenting. Like I'm sure that's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I will be the first to say I'm super lucky because our situation is so healthy compared to, I mean, I hear horror stories all the time. I would say 9 out of 10 times it's not a healthy dynamic, unfortunately. Like there's hurt involved, there's trauma involved, there's someone who's unwilling to heal and unwilling to let things go. And then that affects the kids, and like your vendetta against whoever is now like, it's just such an unhealthy and hard dynamic when one of the parents is not on board with healing and not on board with doing what's best for the kids. And that, unfortunately, is the majority of cases. Our co-parenting relationship, I am so grateful for. I mean, the fact that we could go to Disney and have a room connected together and just have a blast, like, I'm so grateful. But getting there, we're both dedicated to healing, right? Like we both in therapy. When we were in therapy while we were together, we stayed doing therapy after. I think that's huge. I think a lot of men are resistant to therapy. You and I kind of touched on that earlier. And that's been something that has really, really helped us heal a lot of the parts that were hurt in the relationship. Um, I was unfaithful in the relationship. I'm open about that on my social media. All my fault. I don't believe that we were compatible, but I definitely destroyed the trust. So she had to heal from that. She's probably will be healing from that for a long time. I had to heal from what I brought into the relationship prior. So, it's just like we've worked to a point of where we can we can have uncomfortable conversations. We can communicate seamlessly about him. If he needs anything, it's done. Certain little things we've done all along the way, like when we first started time sharing, I'd say that was the most difficult part. She's a first time mom, right? So knowing that your baby's going to go sleep in another bed when he's a year and a half old, that's hard for a first time mom. So what did I do? I let her have access to the baby cam in his room. We have a video app called Marco Polo where we send videos back and forth all day long. If I have him, I'll take videos of him doing something funny or something throughout the day, so she feels like she's there. We FaceTime once a day. Whoever has him calls the other one, and we FaceTime and let them talk to him. She can come visit whenever she wants. So early in the beginning, it was really hard. So she came and visited him almost every day, and I was cool with that. So integrity, looking past whatever conflicts that you have is so important, but very hard. Yeah, it took a lot of work, man, but I'm so grateful. The other thing, she's a freaking awesome mom. Like, dude, she thinks of everything. And I forget so much stuff. So thank God. But like whatever I forget, like whether it's his water or maybe I forget like a sock or something, she's got it. Like I can always depend on her to remember everything I forget, because as a busy business owner, like I own 2 businesses. So like doing all that, I tend to forget stuff sometimes, getting better. But yeah, that's just, what are your priorities? Being integral, being honest, being transparent. We've just built a really good relationship, and I'm very, very proud of it. It's probably one of the things I'm most proud of in my life is our relationship.
Yeah, that's nice, man. And the fact that you're aware of like, you don't have a victim's mentality.
I'm
And
the problem.
you're I mean, you're aware of like what you did and you can kind of move past that. And that takes a very strong person. So that's something that I try to kind of pride myself in as well. Everyone makes mistakes. We all have our shit. That's one thing I kind of pride myself in, is being aware of like how I'm doing certain things that may affect my significant other or my friends, family, whatever. So I think that's super awesome, man. That's
That's
super
cool,
cool.
man. I just, you can only go so far before you admit, like, okay, this is my 4th relationship that I have ruined. Maybe I'm the problem, so you can only go so long. In my case, without pointing the finger at yourself, man. And now it's grown to the point where I view everything as a mirror, right? If somebody's like, I'm to the point now where if because I have to have thick skin on social media. And people say ugly shit to me all the time.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
unhealed people, right? So I have to be able to, when someone says something ugly to me on social media, I have, if it does bump into my shit, like if it does like trigger me or make me I have to stop and let that happen and explore that instead of engaging in a back and forth with someone I'm not going to win with, because who the fuck wins an internet argument? Nobody, right? So instead of getting in a keyboard war, what I'm going to do is just think, why does this trigger me? Why does this bump into my shit? And think about it. And it's like, it comes down to it. Well, I obviously have some insecurity about this if what they said affected me. So it's actually like a gift. It's a gift to be able to receive that and be like, an opportunity to heal something that I didn't know was unhealed. And it's like that scene in 8 Mile at the very end where he says everything that guy was going to say about him. It's like, you can't shame the shameless. You know, I've already put out there every bad shit that I've done. So what are you going to say about me? You know? And the cool thing is that people fuck with that, man. People enjoy that authenticity. They are like, oh, wow, look at this guy who upon first glance looks like every bad male stereotype: tattoos, beard, muscles, obviously gonna be a douchebag. And then you see like, okay, this dude admits he was fucked up. He admits that he's a work in progress. He owns it. Like, okay, I like that. Like, at least this guy's not trying to pretend like his life's perfect, you know? So that's all I'm trying to do. So it's helped me a lot to just take ownership for every circumstance in my life. And it's led to a hell of a lot of success, because like when you take ownership for everything, then you'll bet on yourself in almost every situation, because it's like, well, if I did that, I can overcome anything in business. I can do anything, you know. So, and it gives me freedom, man. Like, your life gets so cool when you stop worrying about being cool, and
Yeah.
like your willingness to be playful exceeds your need to be cool. That's when life gets awesome, man. That's when I can post just a video of me being a fucking idiot and it gets 300,000 views because it's funny, you know. But I wouldn't do that if I was worried about being cool, you know.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Like if you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, it's like you're going to wear yourself out. It's not worth it. So so you said you have two businesses. So you get your online coaching, and what's the other one?
I just started a women's supplement company. So we are releasing our first product in December. Right now, I'm in the phases of the formulation, the labeling, the branding, the go to market strategy. And then planning the scaling of it, manufacturing. The next thing I have to do, literally, is I have a bunch of scales behind me in that desk, a bunch of some mortar and pestles, some label printers, labels. I have to pack myself all the capsules and then put them in bottles, like thousands. I have to weigh out all the ingredients to our formula separately and then send it out to some women to try, get feedback, and then change the formula if needed, and then go to market with it. So this room is going to look like a scene in Breaking Bad. Like, there's going to be powder everywhere. That's just like the grassroots side of it. You have to do that at first before you can go to market with a confident product.
What is this supplement company going to be called? If you could talk about it.
Well, I can talk about some of it. It's a hormone supplement. I'll say that. Like, my whole thing is hormones. We focus a lot on hormones, on gut health, on thyroid health, on liver health. So we're bringing a product to market that focuses on all those things, and has some niche ingredients that will promote, libido, mood, sleep, all these things that women struggle with because hormones are so out of whack because of increased stress, because of maybe like all the emotional stress, all the physical stress. It's going to help with cortisol. So it's like an all-in-one product. I'm really excited about it.
Huh. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what that is, man. That's super cool.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to do a pre-launch where people can get it for less expensive than it'll be when we actually drop it, like $15 off. So I'll announce
Okay.
that on Instagram probably in the next week.
Dope. Love it. So you were talking about Breaking Bad. Have you? So assuming you've seen the whole series, right? So have you seen El Camino?
Yep.
Oh, dude, so good.
Yeah.
It's like when you watch that show, you're like, I think I want to sell meth now. So
Yeah, it gets me jacked up, man. Yeah, dude, that's such a great show. It's probably one of my favorites. I've got probably a handful of shows that I'm just like, I could watch over and over.
oh yeah, no doubt. The Office, no doubt. Like for me, The Office, like I watched it a million times. I
Timeless, bro.
never get tired of that. But No, coming back to like Breaking Bad, that something that's similar to it is, have you ever seen that movie called The Gentleman with Matthew McConaughey?
Yes.
Dude,
Yes. Good.
like
Good movie.
I would never do what he does or like be a drug dealer, but like coming back to that, like, man, this is like he's making it kind of cool. I want to kind of be a drug dealer.
They make it
But
look super cool.
so
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of one of those things with like it's marketing, like with like Camel cigarettes. Like you got that Camel smoking that cigarette. You know what? If I smoke that cigarette, I'm gonna look pretty cool doing it,
I
but
wanna
I'm
be-
probably gonna get cancer, but it's okay.
Yeah. I want to be
So
I wanna be camel. That camel looks awesome. Yeah. I get it.
but yeah, man, that's super cool, bud. I love what you're doing. Your journey has been very interesting to watch. I love everything you're doing. It's super fucking cool. So just
Thank you.
keep fucking working, man. So
I will.
yeah,
I appreciate it, man. It's a lot of fun. I love what I do. I love to learn, and I just love to think. I think the thing that honestly, like when a new coach messages me and they're like, "Hey, man, what's your secret? What did you do? Did you like?" Because one guy was like, "What was it like a video that blew up overnight?" And I was like, "No, I shoveled shit uphill for half a decade, man. What do you mean?" I have just like I can't. I probably sent millions of messages at this point to people just asking me questions, and I don't ask for anything in return. Like I think that's the one thing, if I could say, that like contributed to my finally just getting traction, is my willingness to just put out so much information and not ask for a damn thing in return. Like literally, like I'm like programmed to do that now. Just if someone messages me and is like, "Hey, I need to lose 50 pounds. You know, I've tried keto, I've tried this, I've tried this. Like, what should I do?" And I'm like, "All right, here's what you need to do." And I'll send them a voice message. You know, it's just what I don't think a lot of people out there are doing that, or haven't been doing it as long and as consistently as I have. So I'll never change that. Like, no matter how many followers I get, like that's something I'm always gonna do, is just serve with that kind of mentality. It's like give without asking anything in return. I think that's like the one thing that has led to me finally getting some traction with this shit is just that willingness to give. And people are appreciative of that, man, because they deal with so many assholes on the internet who either immediately ask them for money, or they pay them and they give them shit in return. You know, there's always that. So many people have been scammed. So many people have just not gotten results, or, you know, don't hear back from a coach for like 2 weeks on a check-in or some crazy shit. And it's like, dude, no, we're gonna serve the shit out of you. If you're an MOC, man, we're gonna serve you at the highest level. So that's what I pride myself on, man. It's just like giving, like over delivering with everything.
yeah. So what you said? Serve the shit out of you. What is this? You're gonna do some breakdancing and break their knees or something?
Dude, if they want me to, I'll do it. I'll do
Okay.
it. I mean, I don't have any cartilage left in my left knee, but I'll do it. It's gonna
Uh,
sound like bacon in a frying pan when I start, getting down on the floor, but I'll do it.
so for everyone that's watching and listening, how could they access your services?
Maverick Online Coaching. If you just, search that on Instagram or TikTok, you'll find me. Or the Milf Whisperer. I think I'm the only person with that name right now, and I trademarked it so nobody can take it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Maverick Online Coaching, Instagram, even Facebook, TikTok. We do have a website, maverick-online-coaching.net/revenge-body. But yeah, just Maverick Online Coaching, probably the easiest way.
Cool. All right. Y'all heard it here. I'm going to go ahead and end it right here. I really appreciate you getting on. Until next time, everybody. Peace.